Open the practice windows today for Daniel Scott and Anthony Richardson. As I mentioned, last week, Anthony returned for physical, activity, but he still has some vision limitations in his eye. So we're going to get him back on the practice field, get him throwing, doing some scout team reps. So it's just something, that he's going to have to manage, through the process.
The vision limitations, is it something that doctors feel like will eventually come back?
Yeah, I can't answer that. Everyone heals differently. It's a healing process that, he's going to have to manage. But it'll be great to get him back out on the practice field, going through, all the stuff.
Will he be non-contact because of that?
Yeah, we won't. Yeah, he'll be out there. Yeah, they're non-contact anyways. But yeah, yep.
And along those lines, though,
He will do some team reps, you said, some scout team reps?
Yeah, some scout team reps. We'll have a short practice today, but yeah, he'll get into individual throwing routes, and we'll get him out there.
how do you gauge, progress with that sort of thing over the next couple of days?
I think it's just talking to him and managing it and see how he manages, with the vision, going through that. Obviously taking snaps and throwing and doing all that stuff. So we'll go through that process.
And then mentally, he's been through a lot this year,
Yeah.
very unique injury. How have you gauged that part of it while he was away from the team and trying to just get back to this moment?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think obviously that was a freak incident that happened in the locker room. So, like I said, it's good to get him back out there. That'll be great. And he's handled it really well with grace and dignity and all those different things. But he's been doing it the right way, getting back in here, getting back in the fold and working out. It's been good.
What would the next step in this process be with him? Is it just seeing those vision limitations are gone and now you guys can maybe work him into practice more? Or
Yeah.
what are you
Yeah, correct. You just see how he practices, see how he's feeling. Obviously, watching the practice tape, talking to him, see how he's feeling.
Shane, I know this is kind of a dark question to ask, but if the vision doesn't come back all the way, you're saying you don't know if it will. Can you play quarterback in the NFL without that?
That's a hypothetical question, so I can't answer that.
Can you characterize the limitations? Significant? I know it's his vision, you can't tell. But
Yeah.
is there anything you can do to characterize that?
I really can't. We'll see, how practice goes, and obviously I know he's excited to get back out there, so that's a great thing.
Along those lines, and I guess another question along those lines, Steve, but what allowed him to be clear to even come back to practice if he's having vision impairment?
Well, the bone's healed, which is good, so you can be back to physical activity, and then obviously you get, go through the process there. Yeah.
Shane, given Philip maybe not going to make some plays with his legs, have you explored at all using a couple quarterbacks or short yardage stuff?
Those are hypotheticals as well, but yeah, we look at everything. Yep.
We kind of touched on this the other day, but how much evolution do you expect in how you play offensively in week 2 with Philip? And even Jim Bob said each game plan will be specific.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate it'll evolve at all?
Yeah, absolutely. He was here for 3 days of practice, and then now he's got a full week under his belt, being around the guys. Just the different things you can do at the line of scrimmage will be good. So each week the game plan will obviously be different, but we're excited, for this week.
Well, have you had to alter your approach at all with Philip based on when he was last in the league to now and how defenses have changed over that time, or is it just right by time?
Yeah, obviously it's been a while, but I think the way he sees the game is very similar to when he played. You know what I mean? Obviously he's been a pocket passer his whole career, so that part hasn't changed at all. And it's about him seeing us, seeing the defense, getting us in and out of the right place, which he does as good as anybody.
starting off this practice week? Where are Buckner, Sauce, and Bernie injury-wise?
Buckner is ready to go. He'll practice today. Bernie will not practice, and Sauce won't. But Bernie and Sauce are both progressing really well.
So could you see Sauce back at some point this week?
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, he's progressing in the right direction.
Shane, you've talked a lot about what Philip has meant to you as a football coach. What has he meant to you as a person?
I always talk about character. That's one of my core pillars. The person he is, the father he is, the husband he is. It's just, and a great example of how to be a great human. And he's done that his whole career. The way he treats people, always trying to help people any way he can. That part to me is probably the biggest thing, being around him.
Shane, is there any chance that Anthony, is he trying to be active Monday night, or is that all?
Yeah, he won't be up Monday night. Like I said, this is his first day back to practice. We're going to get him back into practice and go from there.
Could he be available to play at any point going forward this season?
like I said, this is first day of practice, so we'll see how it goes with everything.
If healthy, would he start?
What's that?
If healthy, would he start?
Well, right now, Phillips our starter. So,
Shane, kind of an eye-opener yesterday was, I know this is kind of a broad question, but Chicago potentially moving to Northwest Indiana. I don't know what the league thinks about that, like those sorts of moves, but
yeah,
your
that's
initial thoughts on it, and like what, I guess, like if they do,
yeah,
the Indians pretty good football team.
yeah. That's kind of out of my wheelhouse, to be honest. I don't know. Yeah.
How do you see Phillip, I guess, non-quarterback stuff that he maybe brought? Energy, juice was the word you used.
Yeah.
Any of that? last
Yeah,
week?
absolutely. You could see it. You could feel it in the locker room all week. You could feel it pregame in the locker room, and then even when he threw his first touchdown pass, you saw how excited everybody was on the sideline. So that juice and that belief, that he's out there is awesome for a football team.
Is it sustainable?
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, you got a guy that loves football, that goes out and gives it everything he's got, the meetings, the practice field, the way he communicates with the guys. We're excited for the challenge each and every week.
Shane, the Dolphins, and I know there's two utterly different things. I'm not asking about the Dolphins, but I'm just telling you the context. But Daniel said a reason why, maybe the reason why he's replacing the quarterback is he wants, the word he used was conviction at that position. He said play through his conviction. He says when a quarterback has conviction, it affects the whole team as it relates to Phillip.
Yeah.
Is that what you kind of been talking about? Is juice, conviction, are those similar words?
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, you got conviction, you got juice. Obviously, when you got that and a guy that loves ball and gives it everything he got, I think that gives it belief, in the locker room, each and every day you step on, on the practice field and onto that game field on Sundays or Monday nights.
Do you coach against it all that Gus is on that staff? Is there anything you do?
Well, he knows what we do, and we know what he does. I mean, there's been so many conversations over the past 8 years. So yeah, I mean, those thoughts are you're always thinking like, hey, what's he going to do if he knows what we know, and so on and so forth. So that's the chess game you play when you go into these type of games.
What are your thoughts on Kyle Shanahan? Just philosophically, some of the things he does. I mean, you guys are different, I think, but
Yeah.
just I don't know. What are your takeaways watching him?
I got a ton of respect for him. Obviously, been doing it at a high level, and I think he does a good job, with the offense and the team in general. But the schematics on how he sets up his stuff, with McCaffrey and Kittle and the quarterback, he marries a lot of things off of what he does. Believes in it. They run it good, they throw it good. They're playing at a high level, so just a ton of respect for him all around.
Where is Riley's knee that he was dealing with last week? Is that still lingering? Is that cleared up? Or?
Yeah, he's cleared. He's good. He's rolling. This is good. I think this is a good opportunity for Riley too. He's still progressing as a young player. To get those mental reps too from a guy that's done it at a high level, I think can benefit Riley in the long run.
Can you give the timing, you can remind him, like when did Anthony get the clearance, and when did he find out his vision was just not, when did the doctor tell him the vision's not working?
Yeah, I think like you get the clearance from the bone structure. That was cleared, obviously, but there was limitations with that, with the vision that's healing. So he's working through that. Like I said, he's going to have to manage it, get him out on the practice field, and go from there.
But Phillip, how quickly did you see him pivot from, maybe it's more us and media, but like just the honeymoon stage of, oh my God, this is actually happening, to I want to win for this team. Like he was crushed after that loss, and
Yeah. I think obviously, it was a crazy 48 hours for him when he got here, but as soon as he got in the building on Tuesday, it was like, hey, give me the game plan, we got to go. It was right away. Obviously, you go through a week of practice, first week of practice, and then now it's just like it feels normal. This week, you come in, it's like, boom, he's in the quarterback room, going through his process, watching the tape, watching everything that he's always watched. So I know he's fired up for the challenge, to go attack it, on Monday night.
Do you think getting through some of the unknowns just gives you and him, the rest of the team, confidence? Do you talk about, you don't know physically or how the game will go, whatever, just getting through that helps at all?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was part of it. Hey, we get through the first one. Obviously, had a chance to win it there. He played, pretty darn good for a first time back in a while. So yeah, I think all those, whatever it was going into that game, like, hey, boom, now that's out of the way, and it's time to go.
The second week of whatever reintegration can help him out arm strength wise, or is that
Yeah, I think so. I mean, you get back into the rhythm of the thing. I think he's always been able to throw it, pretty good. So obviously, this is another challenge this week that we're excited for. But I think getting another full week of practice will be definitely beneficial for him.
Anthony, what was it like hearing about you've been cleared, but the vision, the vision, I guess, isn't quite back. What is that like for you to not know what's going on with the vision, or do you know?
No, I feel normal. I'm able to see, able to drive, walk around, not bump into anything. So I feel normal.
Hey, what does it feel like just to have the opportunity to practice for the first time in over 2 months?
I thank God for it. Sitting at home, it's not fun. It's really boring. Not being in the building as much when it first happened, really boring. Not being around my teammates, not being able to go to the stadium and all that was really boring. But I thank God for being able to go out there and practice today, and I'm looking forward to it.
Can you explain what happened with the eye injury back in week 6 before that game?
Yeah, just warming up, bad. Something just freaky just happened. With the band. In the locker, it just happened. And I'm here now, so not really worried about it.
Would you wear anything special laughs-wise when you're practicing?
Nah, still the same old vibes on there. Nothing different.
Nothing to help the vision one way or the other, strengthen one eye or over the other, or not?
I mean, if there is a way, I'll definitely find it. But I'm good right now, so I don't think I need to do any of that.
Shane said you have limitations with your vision. Can you describe what those limitations might be right now, and what the doctors told you about possibly getting this full vision?
There's not really major limitations. It's just a little different because of the impact that happened to my eye. But most of it's really the same. I'm still able to move around the same and do everything I need to do. So that's not that bad.
Anthony, over time, it was worse at first, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So how much improvement have you seen? It's been pretty dramatic?
It's improved a lot, actually, because when it first happened, it was just a lot of swelling and everything because of the fracture and everything. So I can't really see much. But after like 2 or 3 weeks from the surgery, everything healed up nice, and I'm here right now. So
Can you imagine playing this year still?
I would love to, but I got to take it one day at a time, see how I feel out there on the field, see how I move around in the pocket, and just do whatever they need me to do. But I love playing football, and I'm just glad to be back.
Anthony, whether it's practice or playing in the game, how much was getting back on the field to do that before the end of the season? How much does that help your confidence, or how much did you need that?
I don't necessarily need it for confidence, but just for my regular lifestyle, I need to be back on the field. I love playing football. I've been doing it since I was 2, and it's just something I love doing. I just love being in here with my teammates, and originally they told me I was going to have to wait until after the season to see how my eye healed up, and luckily I got cleared this month, and I just thank God for it. I'm ready to practice.
Were there defenses, and how has the game changed? Because it's obviously a thing where trends kind of come and go.
Yeah, I mean, obviously only one weekend. It's hard to say definitively. I didn't feel like it was too different last week. How these defenses are getting better and better. Seems like as the disguises go, used to be as simple as corners come over and it's man. You know what I mean? So that was already starting back in the late teens of 2000s and even before that. But now it's a little more prevalent. Obviously, these defenses are getting more and more wired in terms of not giving away certain indicators. But for the most part, that defense last week was a heck of a defense, and I didn't see anything earth-shattering from great defenses I've gone against in the past.
Philip, there was going to be some uncertainty because you've been gone for so long. After you watched the tape, did you think, man, I can't believe I did that, or man, I can't believe I did that?
I don't know that I had any of those I can't believe. There were a few where I was aggravated. I didn't throw it somewhere else maybe and take advantage of making some better plays, to help us get in the end zone. Certainly some plays that looked just like they looked years ago, So all in all, like I said, after being able to get settled down after obviously a tough road loss, all in all, I mean, personally it was encouraging, but obviously the name of the game is winning, and so obviously we had to move past that one, and I know the guys have been great already this week, fired up for this one on Monday night.
Phil, you've been coaching in the interim here. I know it's high school versus pro football, but does your brain process anything differently when you've been watching from that perspective now that you're back into a quarterback spot?
I don't know. I mean, I think if there's any positive, again, I know high school football is a long way from playing quarterback in the NFL, but I have been calling plays for 5 years, so, and some of them similar, some of them not so similar, not so wordy, obviously. But so I think being in that mode, of playing the game from the sideline in a sense of down and distance and all those things. And obviously, it's not to the magnitude as it is in this league, but I do think that maybe that's it wasn't as if I've shut football off for 5 years. So that has certainly been a positive.
How did your body feel just waking up on Monday? I know you said that you were almost in a way in these last 5 years eager to get back into the physicalness of football. How did your body feel?
Yeah, actually good. I actually feel good this week. Wasn't so bad. A typical Monday post game that I remember. But obviously the guys up front did a great job. Obviously didn't take a lot of shots. Certainly a few, but those were actually helpful. No, I actually feel a week better, to be honest, a week better physically, and a week better, obviously, getting back in the mode of a game week and in the offense. So it's, again, I do think it's going to continue to improve. The key is going to be winning along the way, as we know. Not much use in it getting better if we're not winning, because it'll all be over there on January 4th if we don't take care of business here 1 week at a time.
What have the last few days looked like for you since
just some recovery stuff, obviously body-wise, but mentally really trying to dive into San Francisco and take advantage of the extra day and get into a normal game week. Last week was a normal game week, but not really. It was all ramped up pretty much fast. So this has felt more of a normal game week, being able to get started on Monday and Tuesday and then have an extra day. So it's felt somewhat routine from a standpoint of the daily operation.
Is there more verticality you feel like that this offense can have? I just don't know where your arm is or what you guys are working on, and your comfort is with that part of the game.
Yeah, no, I think again last week it almost played out exactly how we planned it. Certainly, I missed JD on the one down the sideline. I had a chance to throw one to Alec early that I threw to Tyler that got broken up on third down. But that game was the plan that we had. I don't feel any really limitations pushing the ball down the field. Am I going to throw it 60 yards? No, but I can't name many times I ever did that anyway. But if you get it out on time and the things that we can do, I don't think that there's we can't call this or we can't call that. It'll be a solid plan that the staff puts together, and we'll have a great week of practice and go out and execute.
Prime time and everybody watching you guys.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Like you said, first time doing it, but at the end of the day, also staying focused and knowing kind of what the deal is and what we're there to do.
When you went back and watched the film from Seattle with Phillip and everything, how confident are you guys that you can take that next step with him and create some more big plays with the offense?
Yeah, I think if you kind of look at what the situation was and where we were playing a really good team, we gave ourselves a shot. Could have done more. Obviously, always leave some on the table, but no, I think we have confidence in how our offense is operating with what we got going on.
And then 3 games left here, kind of backs against the wall. Are you guys feeling that now you got to go? It's now or never with this group.
I feel like you're kind of thinking like that all year when you're playing in this league. So I think it's taking it 1 day at a time, 1 game at a time.
Kind of a two-parter for you. One, what are the challenges that San Francisco's defense provides? 2, primetime game. How much more excited do you get to have it kind of that stage?
Yeah, I think they got talent across the board. They got good front. They got good secondary. Linebackers are playing well. So it's an NFL defense. So it's always going to be somebody that's really good and really everybody across the board. But yeah, it'll be a challenge. And then playing Monday night will be first time playing that. So that'll be fun.
So we got here a little bit late. So what was it like to be in the huddle with Phillip on Sunday?
Yeah, he's got a really good presence and commands the huddle well, and obviously playing with a guy like that, all the stuff he's done in this league was really cool, and so just being able to kind of grow off of that and keep getting comfortable with him is exciting.
Do you feel like he'll make huge strides coming from week 1 to week 2?
Yeah, I think he's a really good player, so I think he'll adjust pretty fast and has adjusted pretty fast, so it's been good.
Do you feel that, and how much did you guys feed off of that last week, and how much can you feed off of that?
I think he's just a natural guy that has passion, the natural passion and the poise, the charisma, the experience, everything that he brings is just so natural, and that's off the field that we're talking about. And then it correlates to on the field. You know, you're just a guy in the locker room that want to fight for a guy like Phil on the field. So you want to do your best. You want to give him the ball as many times as possible to go down there and score for us. So, yeah, not sure, but Phil is a guy that you really want to fight for.
And then the last thing for me, just 3 games to go here. The margin for error is pretty a little thin for you guys. Just do you feel that? Do you talk about it? Like, I know they're all must wins, but
I think it's just understood. I think some things are just understood by the locker room. We just know how big of stakes it is right now.
Kenny, what have you seen from Jalen Jones and Jonathan Edwards? Both of those guys have kind of had up and down seasons in different ways. Just in terms of their playing time and stuff.
I mean, they're just called up to do a lot of different things. You know, they got to wear a lot of different hats, and we expect them to know the job, to perform and do well. So there's the guys that, you know, are fairly young, and they're still trying to understand and get to know the game. And there's a lot of things with football, and just as a professional player, you just got to have those bad games. You got to have those bad plays to make you really understand. So those are hardworking individuals that want to, you know, provide, and they want to bring their best plays to the team. So those guys are just trying their best to jump along and follow everybody else.